For our first story, we have Mike, 25 female, BF, 26 male, got his mom a nicer Christmas present than me, his sister, and I got the same gift. I feel weird about this, so how do I move past it? Hi. Title sums it up, but to elaborate, I, 25 female, have been dating my BF, 26 male, for about 3 years now. The relationship is great, we never fight, agree on basically everything, have same timeline for next steps, etc. However, one thing has always been touchy, his mom. I'm very close with my mom and I think having a relationship with your parents is important, but his mom is definitely a classic boy mom, like no one is better than mommy. He doesn't really seem to realize it, which is also bothersome. Here's a few interactions I've had with her. First time I met her, I made oatmeal chia banana bread, my own recipe, and added some other fruits because I was told she eats very clean and so do I. But she didn't eat any of it, laugh out loud. Not a huge deal I guess, but I made it specifically for her so I felt weird. A bit after this interaction, my boyfriend was being distant and I could just tell something was up, so I asked him if his mom said anything about me. He was honest and told me that she thinks I want a ring on my finger right now, want to trap him, would follow him to his next city with no plans of my own, etc. This was all said following the very first time I met her and gave no indication of any of those things to her, and actually did the opposite, like I told her my career goals, getting a master's degree. I was frustrated that he switched up on me because of things his mom said, things I have never said, or even indicated to him. I told him that all of those things she said are untrue and if I wanted those things, I would have just said it. Second time I met her was at a dinner and she was very distant, not talking to me. It was a 4-person dinner, like her husband, her son, and me. And then the third time I met her, we went to her son's concert and she knew that I was going to, but got separate seats for she and her husband, so I was sitting alone. There's more interactions than this, but these were some of the most memorable. His mom told me that she was the reason he and his ex broke up. To which I thought she was joking, but she wasn't. Okay, more backstory on the issue of the presents. My boyfriend is an awful gift giver, when it involves me. He got me a ring, one like a love knot ring, which was super sweet, and he told his mom and she freaked. So ever since this, he's been giving me like basic gifts, and I feel like it's because of what she says. So he had some packages come into the apartment and I was moving them out of living area, very tiny apartment, and a card from a luxury jewelry company slipped out with the receipt and a card that says, "To Mom." He spent over $1,000 on her and I think he got me a sweatshirt from my college because he asked me my sweatshirt size and then sent me what he got his sister, which is a vintage sweatshirt from her college too. I just feel weird he got me and his sister the same gift. His parents are millionaires and she's frequently gifted jewelry or cars. TLDR. BF got me and his sister the same gift, but got his mom some luxury jewelry added. I also feel the need to add that we got pregnant and I had a miscarriage. It was incredibly painful and emotionally taxing. I would think that the almost mother of your child warrants a nice, thoughtful gift. He also never told his mom about what happened. That's the end of our first post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, even if you ignore all the mom parts of the story, this seems like it comes down to him not valuing you normally and meeting your relationship needs. For someone you have dated 3 years, this suggests the relationship doesn't have a good future, and it might be best for you to break up. Maybe he is leading you on about other things. Managing parents is hard enough even when they aren't openly hostile. Our second commenter says, this won't get better. You should have dumped him after the literal first time you met his mom. She talked made up shit about you to him, and it got to him and he started treating you badly as a result of her influence. It's still happening and you've been putting up with it for 3 years. No more. Our third commenter says, you will never have a healthy relationship with this guy as his mother doesn't like you and he will always defer to his mother. Honestly, no woman will ever be good enough for him other than her and his eyes. For our second story, we have, do I, 43 male, tell my wife, 45 female, I'm about to put my dog to sleep? I know the title sounds awful, but it's not that bad and frankly I'm not doing great right now. My guy is 11 and 3 weeks ago we found out he has cancer and there is no saving him. We took him home and have been loving on him and making his last days as good as they can possibly be, and he's been doing so good. Happy. Energetic. Even playing with the other dogs in his senior citizen way. Just last night we were talking about how strong he's been getting. This morning, after his second trip outside, he is bleeding from his bottom. He doesn't seem in pain, but I know it's time. It hurts so badly it's not even funny, but I promised myself I won't wait until he's suffering. My wife already told me that she can't handle making the decision. That I would need to decide when it's time and I would have to take him because she just couldn't be there. I made the appointment for late this afternoon and I've got him in my office and just been celebrating his last day with him and trying not to sob and scare him. She's upstairs working and has no clue. Since she can't go with me, I feel like if I tell her, yes, it gives her the time to say goodbye. In fairness, he's my dog and they're close but not nearly as close as I am to him. Knowing that for the 2 or 3 hours I'm gone she's just gonna be curled up sobbing, or do I take him, deny her that chance to say goodbye but be there for her when she falls apart? I don't know. What would you do here? Update. I told her and she cried a bit but got to spend a couple hours with him, living on him and feeding him, so it was the right call. I ended up taking him in and being there in the end, and I'm super glad I didn't take her or call a mobile vet to do it in the house. His calcium levels were very high due to the cancer and it made the process very tough. I've been through this before and it was never like this. So, if you have a partner that says they don't want to be there, don't pressure them to, and think very carefully whether you want to do it at home with a mobile vet. That's the end of our second post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, she is going to be sobbing after she finds out too. That and shocked at you. Tell her, let her say goodbye and don't cruelly deny that memory. Our second commenter says, let her say goodbye, sad face. Our third commenter says, please tell her so she can say goodbye. I'm so sorry for what you're going through. Sending love. For our last story, we have I, 29 male. Do not understand my girlfriend, 24 female. When it comes to Instagram. How do I try to understand her point of view? My girlfriend and I have been dating for 6 months now, but she still refuses to share her Instagram handle or allow me to follow her. Her reasoning is that her pictures feel too intimate, and me following her crosses her boundaries. She also mentioned that this is part of why she was initially hesitant to make our relationship official. She believes many men think they have a right to their significant other's social media or personal matters once they're in a relationship. For context, I've never asked to see her social media, personal messages, or details about who she follows. I've respected her privacy throughout our time together. However, I have no idea what these so-called intimate pictures are. Part of me wonders if they're explicit in some way, though this is purely an assumption and might be untrue, especially since her sisters follow her account. She keeps emphasizing that I should like her for who she is, not her looks, and I've never given her any reason to think otherwise. I've never mentioned that her appearance is a primary reason I'm dating her. I find her reasoning confusing, as I've never encountered this kind of behavior in past relationships. In my previous experiences, partners were either willing or even eager to follow each other on social media. That said, I understand everyone is different, and I'm trying to see things from her perspective. What makes this situation even more puzzling is that she has over 10,000 followers. If her pictures are too intimate for me, her boyfriend, to see because of her boundaries, it feels strange that random people online are allowed access. When I brought this up, she reassured me that I shouldn't worry because I'm her partner, and while those random followers can see her pictures, she isn't messaging or dating them. Admittedly, it's just social media, which is why I haven't made a big deal out of it throughout our relationship. However, this situation feels inconsistent and a bit confusing to me. Does this make sense to anyone else? Have others experienced something similar in their relationships? I'd appreciate any thoughts or advice. That's the end of our last post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, she has an OF. Our second commenter says, she probably doesn't want you to see her, linked there. I don't use Instagram or care much about social media, but if the person I was dating for 6 months was so adamant about hiding something like this, it would raise alarms. Our third commenter says, your GF is either dumb as a sack of bricks or she has an OF or something like that. 10,000 followers, but you can't follow her? Come on. That's all for today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.